Hello, today we will be getting to know the business owner of Pro-sesh Aesthetics. Welcome to Raising Your Lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. And I'm so excited. I'm too excited. I can't even contain myself, honestly. But we going to get it together. It's all right. So, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey y'all, my name is Chloe. Some know me as Chloe. I am a licensed esthetician. Have been licensed for 3 years in the industry for 6 or 7 years. Pro-sesh Aesthetics. We have been in business for 3 years. Yeah,
So, what do you specialize in?
I specialize in full body waxing. Looking into adding facials to my menu and a few body services like body wraps and body scrubs. Um, but that's soon to come. That's soon to come.
Loading. Okay, period. So, what inspired you to get into full body waxing or even being an esthetician? Because it's not only waxing that you could do, it's more than that, but that's what you specialize in.
So let's see. It all started with my grandmother. For all of the women in the black community, like back in the day, your grandma was wearing fashion fair and was always, to the T. It doesn't matter what day of the week it was. My grandmother would get up at 5 o'clock every morning, get herself together, put her full face of makeup on, regardless if she had anything to do but sit in the house. So I kind of started getting into the beauty industry that way, and I started out in cosmetology. That was my career path in high school, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go do hair, and I can, do a little bit of everything being a cosmetologist. Well, graduated high school, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I just didn't want to keep up with all of the hair trends and different things like that, but I did know that I wanted to stay in the beauty industry. However, I was convinced by my family to go to college, and I absolutely hated it. I did 3 years. I did 1 year at TSU. I did 2 years at MTSU. Changed my major like 6 or 7 times, and then I was like, I can't do this. Like, I am so miserable. I don't know how college kids do it. So I started working full time, and then I worked maybe like 2 years, and then 2015 I was like, I'm going to school for aesthetics. I wanted to get back into the beauty industry, but I know that I didn't want to do hair. So that was like my way of getting back into the beauty industry. Not necessarily knowing the full spectrum of aesthetics, but I knew that I wanted to make people feel good other than doing hair. So that was how I ended up in aesthetics. And then as I was going through school, we had got onto the topic of waxing, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I've always wanted to get into this, like, for my own personal use, but I was always afraid because it looked like it hurt, and it does. However, I ended up being a model for our Brazilian wax demonstration in school, and it was the worst experience of my life. I said that I would never do it again, but then I was like so in love with my results. I was like, there's got to be a better way. Like, I have to figure out how to make this more comfortable, because this is something that I want to be able to do, for the longevity of it. Because I was learning that if you stay on your wax cycle and you get waxed consistently, the hair goes back thinner, finer, and it's not as much as if you were to shave or use Nair or anything like that. So I wanted to maximize my results, but also minimize the level of pain. So I took it upon myself to get into waxing, and here we are.
Yes. So when it comes to the journey of you getting licensed, because we don't support the people who just say, "Oh, I can wax," and just start waxing. We support people who are educated and they have the accolades to go with the service that they're providing. How was that journey to finally get to the point of actually being licensed so that you can be able to provide professional pro-sesh aesthetics? Okay.
Yes, so it was definitely a journey going through school the first time, because I did go to school twice. So the first time I went to school was from October 2015 to May 2016. Completed the 750-hour program, and then I went on to take my state boards. In the state of Tennessee, you have to take your theory portion before you're able to take your practical portion, which is like the hands-on. So you need a 70 to pass. I took the theory portion 4 times. I made a 69 3 times, and I made a 64, which was the lowest grade that I had made.
Pause. Hold on. What was the reasoning behind you not being able to pass? Because she told me this story. What was the reasoning behind? Because they need to know. The people need to know, okay?
So the first school that I went to, and please, like, know that I'm not bashing any aesthetic.
We're not
school.
Gonna say the name. They don't need to know.
I'm not bashing any aesthetic school. It is what you make it. However, your instructors and your school director also make the experience for you as well. And at the first school that I went to, it was top tier. Like, the building was immaculate. Okay, we had top of the line equipment, things that I had never seen in the beauty industry ever when it comes to offering aesthetic services. We had a washroom. We offered body wraps and body scrubs, and actually had a room to be able to perform these services. We had top of the line multifunctional machines for all of our facial clients, different things like that. So in the beginning of my journey, I learned how to use all of these immaculate equipment. However, I was not taught the things that I needed to learn to be able to pass state board. So that was the issue, and that was the disconnect. So after completing my 750 hours, I'm like giving myself crash courses, trying to pass this test because I was not adequately prepared for the state board, along with some other things that happened in school, but that's really not important because, like I said, the experience is what you make it. So after that, it had been like 3 or 4 years of like taking this test, like paying the $70 every time to take this test and making a 69, and all I needed was a 70 to pass. 2019 rolls around. I moved back to Clarksville, and I had got a 2-bedroom apartment. Well, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. So when I was in school, we had a lady from a major waxing chain come in and talk to us about potential job opportunities after graduation and getting licensed. Well, they did on the spot interviews, and me and a few girls from my class had got hired. And the deal was we would be able to train while we were still in the process of getting our license, because by the state of Tennessee, as long as you can show that you're actively getting the license, you are able to practice under a licensed professional. So I landed this job at this waxing chain, and I was like, yo, this is it. Like, this is where it's going to start for me. Well, long story short, because I didn't pass the state board, I lost the job. However, I still had the training. So I kind of took it upon myself to practice on myself, friends and family, different things like that, because I knew this was something that I wanted to do. Like, I had to have it mastered. Years go by, 2019 comes, I moved back to Clarksville. I'm still preparing to take this test. My grandmother, who I spoke about earlier, she had passed away at this point. I took the test 2 days after that, still failed. I only took the test because that was the last conversation that me and my girl had, was that I was going to take this test, and I did it. Not even knowing that if I was going to pass or fail, but I just had to keep my word. So, moved back to Clarksville, got a 2-bedroom apartment, turned my 2nd bedroom into my workspace, and that was kind of where it started for me. And then COVID hit. So once COVID hit, everything shut down, but I was still open. So everybody was hitting me up. You still waxing? You still waxing? I am. Pull up. Pull up.
Pull up, okay?